Too little. More than machinery, we need humanity.
We know the air is unfit to breathe and our food is unfit to eat. As if that's the way it's supposed to be. We know things are bad, worse than bad. They're crazy.
Silence! The great and powerful Oz knows why you have come.
You've got to say, I'm a human being. God damn it! My life has value.
You have meddled with the primal forces of nature.
Don't give yourselves to brutes, men who despise you, enslave you, who regiment your lives, tell you what to do, what to think, or what to feel, who drill you, diet you, treat you like cattle, use you as cannon fodder. Don't give yourselves to these unnatural men with machine minds and machine hearts.
And now, Reality Rant with Jason Bermas.
And who loves you? And who do you love?
Good morning, good morning, good morning. It is Reality Rants. I am Jason Bermas, and in the ever-long quest to try to get things right, folks, I gotta tell you, still huge issues. I went and bought me a little Stream Deck. Didn't want to do it. Didn't really feel like it was necessary. I've talked up this software forever. First world problems, I know. Even right now, I feel like I look a little dark. I'm going to try to fix it. But in reality, what I could do is just crash the whole thing. But why not? Why not go for broke? Why not go to Crashy McCrasherton? There we go. We'll brighten it up just a little bit. There we go. I don't want to blow myself out too much. Maybe that's a little too much. First world problems here on the show. And we got plenty of first world problems in this country. One of those first world problems, in my opinion, is that no one can seem to define a woman. Okay, see, here's the issue. The cloudiness here, guys. Can't have that. Gonna have to blow it up a little bit more. Can't have the cloudiness. Won't do it. Won't do it. So let's just do some of this. Let's jack some of that up. It's not seeming to help. Great. It's probably because I chose the wrong thing. Actually, no, I didn't. Oh, yeah, no, I did. Okay. Sorry, guys. We're doing it on the fly. We're doing it live. But Wyoming, of all places, can't seem to figure out what a woman is. I think that's pretty insane. Am I kooky to think that in 2023 we can't figure out what a woman is? Bueller? Anybody? And this is especially egregious. Like, you live in the dark cartoon, okay? When this person just gets to join a sorority. And all the girls can be horrified. I mean, take a look. Everybody here can be horrified. They can sue. And a judge just says, don't know. Can't tell you. A judge has dismissed a lawsuit filed by University of Wyoming sorority sisters contesting the admission of a transgender woman whom they accused of being a sexual predator. 6 members of the Kappa Kappa Gamma sorority chapter had challenged Artemis Langford's admission by casting doubt on whether sorority rules allowed a transgender woman. The district court judge found in favor of the sorority and Langford, ruling that the sorority's bylaws as a private voluntary organization don't define who's a woman. The very essence of being a sorority defines what a woman is. Because fraternities have men. And sororities have women. That's it. That's as deep as it needs to go. I mean, what in the world are we thinking right now? The 6 members had raised safety concerns, you think, and detailed allegations against Langford, but said they were told to change our definition of a woman in the September 22 lawsuit. This needs to go to the Supreme Court. And by the way, the Supreme Court needs to rule correctly. Several members of the sorority also claimed Langford's presence in their home left them feeling vulnerable and uncomfortable. You think? I don't know this person, but here's the thing. Take a look. I know one thing. I don't really like to go where I'm not wanted. Period. Let's start there. Like, if you've got a choice of bars, which I did in Oneonta, if I felt that I was unwanted in a bar, the service wasn't there, the atmosphere wasn't mine, I didn't go there. I went somewhere else. Now, if you want to be the ultimate outsider, like this, I'm not quite sure where you fit in. And by the way, let's go to a place called reality now. When you're having an identity crisis, okay, because you are not accepted in traditional circles or otherwise, and then you get heavily medicated and you are influential, you might think this is a good idea. And hey, maybe the court system does too. They alleged that she would stare at the other girls for hours without saying anything while sitting with a pillow in, I'm not even going to say the H word, lap. So now you got this person with a dead stare and a pillow over the pantaloons. No biggie, it's America. It's not just America, it's Wyoming. Now, a lot of people out there would have said, well, if this was California, maybe I could have seen it. If this was New York, maybe I could, et cetera, et cetera. It's coming everywhere. And it's not going anywhere. Because these people are really pushing a transhumanist agenda. And they are pushing mental illness on folks. They want it. They want you. I know that's hard to believe. I know that sucks to talk about. But the more dependent you are, the more mentally ill the populace is, okay, the greater the strength over everybody else in this great narrative is for the predator class, period. And that's why you're going dark cartoon style. How can you not define? You don't need to define a woman. It's a sorority. That's the definition. It's for young women. Period. The Girl Scouts are for girls. It's in the title. The Boy Scouts are for boys. Oh, man. They also accused Langford of taking photos of the girls at a slumber party and making inappropriate comments to them, including about what vaginas look like, breast cup size, whether women were considering breast reductions, and birth control. Yeah, nothing creepy about any of this. There's not anything weird about any of this. Like, you couldn't have made a horror movie up of a futuristic scenario where it goes all the way to the court system. And they're like, you got to roll with it. Sorry. On one occasion, one of the women claimed she was changing clothes inside the house without a bra on, but turned around to find Langford staring at her, the complaint alleged. And by the way, I don't know that Langford is on any medication or Langford is got any kind of surgery or anything. And I don't know if that matters at all. Fellow sisters reportedly later said that Langford had his hands over his genitals and appeared sexually aroused. At the heart of the lawsuit was the issue of defining a woman, with the sorority sisters arguing that because KKG's governing documents define it as a space exclusively for females, it's a sorority. The organization broke its own rules by admitting a biological male. The sisters claim that the sorority changed its criteria to allow Langford to apply, while KKG's lawyers said the definition of a woman has evolved since the sorority's founding 150 years ago. The term woman is unquestionably open to many interpretations, the sorority's filing claimed. So are they fighting their own sorority on a national level to do this? They're coming for us all. That's insane. That's insane. Thumbs it up, subscribe, and share, everybody. Although the plaintiffs offered a definition in their lawsuit as an adult human female, KKG said that this was restrictive. Oh, it's restrictive. I mean, I can't do it. Like, look at this. Yeah, like, wow. It's restrictive. The sisters claim that sorority changes criteria. Oh, I'm sorry. Has evolved after the founding of 150 years ago. Let's see. It's cut and dry. It's cut and dry. The case at Wyoming's only 4-year public university drew widespread attention as transgender people fight for more acceptance in schools, athletics. I'm so done with the athletics thing, too. Stop. This is hurting people. It's all hurting people. But they don't care because this is what directed evolution means. You understand? This is the essence of what directed evolution is. This is getting you as human beings to reject your very biology in search for something else. As they just toy with you and just decide what something else means. You get it? And it means a lot. It's just unreal. They describe the sorority as a safe space to grow together and build genuine, long-lasting relationships, as well as a refuge for us biological women to relax and release from the pressures and stress that come with college and life. It's a lifelong friendship thing. It's a networking thing. You want to feel comfortable around these people. It's really like a second family. Has been for me. Yeah, I just talked about my Vegas trip. The one person I went and visited was a fraternity brother. You know? I know I've talked about it before, probably not with this audience, but when I first got my first desk job at 24, and that's big for me. Like, wow, I'm not just flipping pizzas. I got a desk. I had a secretary. I mean, it wasn't paying, big bucks, but I was doing computer work. Paying little 24-year-old Jason. It was a big move. And I had to sleep in my fraternity brother's closet for like a semester because I couldn't get an apartment out there where the job was. And there was 3 of them, and they were good enough to let me do that. One of them really never got along with, still really don't get along with much to this day. But because we were brothers, it happened. And I do a lot for him too, even though we don't get along. I remember those kind of things. It's a brotherhood. It's a sisterhood. It's in the definition. But nope. Wyoming U.S. District Court Judge Alan Johnson, in his ruling, found that the sorority bylaws as a private voluntary organization don't define who's a woman. So the Nationals come in. They say, you're going to do this, girls. We don't care. They say, no, we're not. We're going to sue you. And the judge sides with insanity. The judge sides with insanity. We got to go to a commercial break. We're going to come back after this. We're going to hit some more stories. It is Reality Rants. Thumbs it up, subscribe, share. And folks, remember, these things are going to continue on. We have to fight them back at every single level.
How in the world could such a small group of people with limited resources change world history? But in fact, that's happening, and it's the power of the truth. The truth is like kryptonite.
Healthcare isn't in some sense working very well. Foster Colson is thinking about this. He's got a new company, an online healthcare platform called the Wellness Company.
Telehealth company called the Wellness Company.
The Wellness Company.
TWC.health is the wellness company. The most popular product is the detoxification supplement that features nattokinase. Nattokinase is the only enzyme that we're aware of right now that dissolves the spike protein. Spike protein is loaded in the body with the COVID-19 infection and definitely with the vaccines. We've been completely accurate on the spread of the virus, early treatment, on the deficiencies in hospital care, and now the deaths that are occurring after vaccination. This is a human outrage, and it's occurring at the end of a hypodermic needle. Isn't it interesting? Natural substances combating this man-made disaster.
I'm just going to say this. Let's just hope that doesn't get me banned from YouTube. I didn't even look at it. It was an ad I'm supposed to run. Guys, can I even play that? Let's hope I don't get a strike on that one. I'm not a doctor. And yeah, I just want to say that right now. Yikes. I don't even know if the other shows, do the other shows run on YouTube? Am I the only one on there on YouTube? All right, that threw me off a little bit. Sorry, guys, I got a new commercial. We got rid of the VPN ad. I hadn't watched it before. I just threw it in the mix. I do love McCullough, obviously. I guess we'll see where it goes, but I would suggest we get another one just in case. And maybe I'm trimming that out after the show. Anyway, side issue. Side issue. This one is a big story for me. And by the way, Ray McGovern, I'm going to mention this now because we're about to talk about 9/11. And I've got this huge clip that we're going to get to, which will be kind of like a watch along with McGovern, because McGovern's the man. Ray McGovern is a CIA analyst. He worked really heavily under the first Bush administration. He was in the Reagan administration, around for a very, very long time. And he was one of the few guys that spoke out about 9/11. And he's featured in both Loose Change Final Cut and Fabled Enemies. Okay? So, number one, really important because Ray's also a fighter. I remember when I was interviewing Ray, probably back in 2007. That's a long time ago. And I believe Ray was diagnosed with cancer right around that time when I was interviewing him. Very gracious, very well spoken. I always loved the shot I got for those films with him. And 9/11 anniversary is coming up around. Okay? About to be the 22nd anniversary. And the thing is, they can't have Zombie J there. They can't do it. So for the first time ever since the event, there's not even going to be a president down at any of the attack sites. And honestly, I'm kind of torn here. Number one, I don't love the grandstanding. I never have. I don't believe that there's a president that has properly dealt with this issue since then. I know that Trump has toyed with talking about it. That's not dealing with the issue. In fact, it's going to be one of my, I would say, big time criticisms of a clip I'm going to play of Bannon and Giuliani talking about how the deep state is taking down anybody that's challenged them. Well, Giuliani, where are you? Now's the time, bro. They're going for your throat. You want to actually tell the people the truth about 9/11? You want to tell me why you wouldn't talk about the explosives? You want to have Michael Hess go on the record? I mean, that's the real deal. But this just shows you how bad it is with Biden. When they don't even want, can you imagine? I mean, right now, he's pretty far gone. Everything we've seen, it's over the top. He's pretty done, is all I'm going to say. He not doing well. Okay? Not doing well. And on a 9/11 moment where, I mean, not that the media hypes it up as much anymore. Now you're the domestic terrorist. Things are much more about the climate crisis, right? That's the new boogeyman. Yeah, you're not hearing about ISIS and Al Qaeda and Islamic terror anymore. No, it's domestic terror. It's your neighbor. They morphed it pretty quick. So, you know, they might not want Biden down there talking about white supremacy to, you know, a bunch of family members that are still mourning their loved one's loss. And I'm still mourning the loss of what was left of our Constitution and Bill of Rights prior to this event. But they're not even going to roll them out. You know, and by the way, they shouldn't. They shouldn't roll them out. It's over. But he shouldn't even be the puppet face of the administration right now either. He should be gone. It's embarrassing that that's even the dude they put forward. In fact, you know, he's got all of all these charges against him, more and more coming out. And the thing is, this guy's not going to prison. He's going to be protected. And they're going after the other guy. Whether you love Trump or hate Trump, it is pretty apparent they're going after the other guy, who, I'll say it again, usually is protected. And I know a lot of people go, it's all fake. It's not real. Nothing's real. That's not real either. Sorry, guys. Hate to tell you, these are real people with real lives. They're really trying to put Trump in real prison. Like, yeah, Biden, it was really a bag man and a gangster for years. And then Biden Jr. here, little Hunt. He was absolutely a protege of his father and the criminal activity. He ended up like the Krakens. And it's out of control. That's all real. The Ukraine stuff, all real. The China stuff, real. It's an international cartel. How do you think it works? Right? So, I mean, you look at this. National Archives reveals it has 5,400 Biden emails in which the president potentially used fake names to forward government information and discuss business with his son Hunter. I've never discussed business with my son Hunter. Come on. Give me a break. President Joe Biden may have used pseudonyms in nearly 5,400 emails, electronic records, and documents when he was vice president. A bombshell letter from the National Archives and Records Administration reveals. And again, that's only an 8-year period. Where you don't think he was doing this while he was a senator in Delaware? Give me a break. A trove of communications was confirmed after the Southeastern Legal Foundation filed a Freedom of Information Act for emails connected to aliases allegedly used by Biden, including Robin Ware, Robert L. Peters, and J.R.B. Ware. Get that one? He thinks he's funny. See? J.R.B. Ware, Junior Beware. I was a big wrestling fan as a kid. I remember Coco Beware. And, you know, Robert L. Peters, that may have something to do with Hunter having his dad in his contacts as Pedo Peter. I don't know. Again, highly underreported. Republicans have been demanding the release of the emails they say could show, come on. Biden used the names to discuss foreign businesses with his son and share information on countries where he was doing deals. The White House has insisted Biden was never in business with his son. And vice presidents and high-level government officials often use pseudonyms to prevent being inundated with spam and emails from the public. At the time, the Obama administration dismissed criticism. The communications were secret because they were all archived, but the sheer volume of emails raises questions over whether then VP Biden broke the absolute wall he said he maintained between the personal and private and the government. He's like, look, Jack, the Russians, Jack. Can't even do that anymore. But when he does get angry, he gets crotchety. He gets pointy. He gets screamy. He gets angry. Emails from Hunter's laptop also reveal business partners referred to Biden as the big guy. The big guy. So there's a Robert L. Peters, and he's talking about a phone call with Poroshenko. Okay? Yeah, obviously, that is to avoid spam. And here he is as Robin Ware, 456. Call me right away, Dad. Yep. There's a little response right here. Excuse me. Before you fill the position, please talk to me. Again, Hunter Biden, of course, was discussing this with his father. The SLF submitted FOIA request in June 2022, and the results appear to confirm that Biden was using the emails connected to the aliases. Biden used various private email addresses from which he sometimes sent, received, and forwarded government correspondence. The names are all pseudonyms that Biden was known to use while he served as vice president under the Barack Star, 2009 to 2017, and were used on emails that were about both official and family business. The Southeastern Legal Foundation took legal action against NARA on Monday to secure the records release. Now the question is, all right, we've got these out there. How many more are there? Are we going to see censored batches of them? I mean, right now the Daily Mail will cover this because it's the right-wing outlet. And then the other side just gets to say, it's all fake news. It's all fake news. And they play this game constantly with whoever's in power. It's all fake. Not all of it's fake news. I'm always about getting the documents. When you have the documents yourself, when you have the emails yourself, you can have discernment. And that's certainly important. Okay? But the question is, we already know the Department of Injustice has had all the emails. For how long? Why is it that we're filing FOIA requests to get them? They have all the evidence in the world. You know, this is another point. I bring it up on the show all the time, but I brought it up with Hoft. And by the way, the second premium should be up today. I put it in the Dropbox last night, so I'm sure they're going to be cutting that up. But that one has Chris Sky. That has a gentleman from the Gerald from the Sons of Liberty, and a great conversation with Richard Bartlett. So if you're a premium member and you watch the other interviews with Joe Hoft, Mindy Robinson, and Paul Davis yesterday, I got a whole new batch for you. Whole new batch-tacular. We're doing it big. And they were great conversations, by the way. But talking to Hoft the second day, I think it was, or it was later the first day, hard to remember. I was busy on the grind. Come to think of it, I did end up getting like 9 interviews. It's pretty good for as busy as I was running around. It's not easy in there. It's hot, blah, 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 blah. But I brought up Wiener's laptop to him because Hoft was, Joe, was one of the first people that actually had access to the Hunter laptop in the media after Giuliani got it. Okay? And they published some stuff, really nasty stuff on there. But I said to him, Joe, the Trump administration, when they got in, they had the Wiener laptop. And I go, that whole thing with the 15-year-old girl and the Skype and all that stuff, I go, that wasn't even from his laptop. He's like, what? I'm like, yeah, man. I go, think about it. Because at first he goes, a lot of people are saying she wasn't even 15. I go, let's just stop. I go, that girl is just one girl, and it didn't come from the laptop. She blew the whistle. She had the screenshots, and she had the information on her Skype, and it came from her. They didn't even double down on the forensics of what the Justice Department had. And he goes, wow, I didn't realize that. I'm like, oh yeah, that's how corrupt it is. And now Anthony Weiner gets to go on radio shows like Valuetainment. We got to take a break. Thumbs it up, subscribe, share. Remember, the second hour is over on rvmrumble.com, rvmrumble.com. You can go check out my entire presentation at the Clay Clark Vegas event, pinned to my Twitter at Jason Bermas. We'll be back after this word from our sponsor.
We interrupt today's programming to bring unfortunate news. Biden's dangerous plan for a digital dollar is underway. Don't be fooled. It won't benefit you. So take action now. The Federal Reserve's phased deployment of FedNow began on July 1st, 2023. Be prepared. This may catch many off guard and put your hard-earned assets in jeopardy. But here's the good news. There's a simple legal tax loophole to opt out of the digital dollar. Speak to someone at American Alternative Assets for a free wealth protection guide and discover how to safeguard your wealth with gold and silver IRAs against a failing dollar and volatile markets. Dial 833, the number 2 USA Gold. Yes, call now, 833-287-2465. This invaluable guide provides precise steps to transfer your IRA or 401k into precious metals without any tax consequences. Don't let Biden force you into using the government's new digital dollar. Call 833, the number 2 USA Gold. Yes, call now, 833-287-2465. Act swiftly, 833-287-2465.
We are back. It is Reality Rants. I am Jason Bermas. Thumbs up, subscribe, share. Remember, the second hour is over at rvmrumble.com. You want to support the broadcast, redvoicemedia.com/uncensored. And it is $1 for the first week, $10 a month, or lock it in, really support the broadcast, and support trips like the one I just took. It's funny because I was watching Jones yesterday late when I was finishing up the edit. Because, by the way, I don't just pin one camera over. I mean, it's not great. I'm doing the best I can with what I got, especially in a tight space. I got these webcams, and I got 3 cuts on each. That's a side note. But I heard Jones basically complaining because I think he's lost some control of InfoWars with this whole having to declare bankruptcy and hire somebody to oversee everything. And he was saying that they just didn't have the budget for him to go into Hawaii and do the on-ground investigation. And he was kind of alluding to the award show stuff. And by the way, I'm not I don't need any awards, man. In fact, I talk about this kind of, I know I talk about it with you, but behind the scenes when I talk to people, I was lucky enough to really get to talk to Gene Ho. He's on the other network that I do a show on. And, he just said, yo, man, I'm really impressed with this and that. I like a level of anonymity. The last thing I want to do is be completely bombarded. Like, I would never want to be Alex Jones. It sounds awful. It kind of would turn my stomach, to be real, to be really honest. That's why if you go look at my social media, the vast majority of it, I mean, overwhelmingly has nothing to do with my personal life. You got 5 personal life posts a year. It's a lot. It's a lot. That's for me. That's for me and my friends and my family and things like that. And basically, he was bitching because they don't have money for him to go to Hawaii. But, people, I guess there was some Barton Springs event. He was alluding to the American Liberty Awards, which I was nominated for, that were like 2.5 weeks ago. Again, I opted to go to the Red Pill Expo for a number of reasons. I mean, the Red Pill Expo was basically a drive and a night in a hotel, right? And again, maybe the last chance I'll have to shake G. Edward Griffin's hand in the future, and has nothing to ever do with giving a rally cry. So in other words, when I go speak at these things, I'm not up there to like brag. or to be like, thank you everybody for being my audience. The vast majority of those people have no idea who I am. And I like that. I like it. You know, we played it yesterday, but I'm there to hammer home information I think these people need. Thousands of people that would never listen to me otherwise. Hammer home that information and then make direct contact with other people that are fighting the fight. Like Paul Davis, who I interview, and is in, I believe it's yesterday's video. But Paul Davis is this lawyer who gets fired for being at the Capitol, doing nothing, just being there, and a Twitter mob goes after him. I mean, is he a conservative? Yes. Is he religious? Yes. Did he lose his job at his law firm because the mob said so? Yes. Yes. And by the way, he sued. We talk about it a little bit. But at the same time, that guy is representing a bunch of people going against the authoritarian mandates. That's a big deal. That matters. Okay? Period. It matters. Okay? So I want to not only interview that person, by the way, I intend having him on the show for a much longer interview, a lot of those people. So you make those kind of connections, and hopefully you get people hip to new information. And I really hope that a lot of people in the audience that, you know, did raise their hand and did learn something during my speech, go check out my films so they can learn more. Because these issues overlap, right? They overlap. And a lot of these people are mainline conservatives and just Trump supporters on the peripheral. For instance, in today's premium video, when I talked to Gerald from, and I believe he might have been from Wyoming, Sons of Liberty. In fact, that might really be the case. I totally didn't make that connection, but I'm pretty sure he was from Wyoming. This guy, he's a conservative again. He's a Republican again. But he says, you know, a lot of these people that just kind of vote that way and kind of think that they're being representative don't even know what a quote-unquote rhino is. And, of course, that's a Republican in name only. And duh. It's like a uniparty most of the way. But that guy's really trying to take hold of his local government. That guy doesn't want the insanity of a judge ruling that a biological man can be part of a sorority. And stare at them like some kind of a freak show that we have to celebrate. Oh, I like that he's staring at me like that. Doesn't make me feel uncomfortable at all. Just crazy. Crazy. So, you know, I go to these things, once again, to try to wake people up beyond where they're at. To make them realize this isn't just like a Republican or Democrat thing, and these people are pushing forward. The transhumanist thing is huge. And, you know, that's why I do it. On the flip of that, you know, I took all sorts of heat for the Ramaswamy show yesterday. But I gave everybody a challenge to send me the stuff that you didn't like about the guy. Okay? And we were going to do that video. But nobody sent me anything but other people's videos. Like, everybody sent me like an hour-long video from somebody else that wasn't them. Like, if a content creator who did a full video on him sent me something, that's one thing. Because hopefully they're actually sourcing everything. I'm not going to watch videos from a bunch of other people except for on my own time on that. You got documentation on the guy. You got short videos of Ramaswamy and quotes, which are out there, by the way. That's what I was looking for, guys. Show me why you don't like the guy. I mean, I'll show you a little reason I might not like the guy. Ramaswamy gets the cease and desist letter. What was he thinking? You know, and hey, you know, get up there and do your thing, but this is just cringy.
Loud, he opens his mouth, but the words won't come out. He's joking how everybody's joking now. The clock's run out, time's up, over, plow, snap back to reality. Oh, there goes gravity, oh, there goes gravity. Choke, he's so mad, but he won't give up that easy. Oh, he won't back till he knows his own bad that he's broke. His own bad that he's broke. He don't matter, he's broke. He's so sad that he knows when he goes back to this mobile home. That's when he's back to the lab again. Yo, this old rhapsody. Better go capture this moment and hope it don't catch. Lose yourself in the music.
And that is in Iowa. That's that's Kim Reynolds, the governor right there. And that's the Ramaswamy. Like that's cringy. It's kind of funny. I mean, I wouldn't do it. You know what I'm saying? But I'm still waiting. Like, believe me, I believe people when they tell me that Big Pharma, Soros, the whole nine, send me the stuff so I can do the real deep dive video that everybody wants. I'll do it. Like, for instance, somebody either tagged me in or sent me a video of Clay Clark breaking it down. I'm the one who told Clay what to look into. Literally on Saturday morning. Me. And you know who posted it? General Michael Flynn posted it on Twitter. Guess who told Flynn about it? Me. It was literally the 90 seconds, maybe 3 to 5 minutes I had with both those guys behind the scenes. And they asked me about Ramaswamy. And I gave them the information my audience gave to me. And then somebody sends me the video of Clay talking about the exact same information that I gave to him. Guys, I want documents. I want short quotes. I want original content. Send it to me. I'm not riding some Ramaswamy train. But again, the guy's telling more truth than anybody else up there, especially on the quote-unquote right-wing or conservative side. And you can say what you want about all of politics as a show. I live in Iowa. I live in Corn Rap Central there, where the Ramaswamy is doing his thing. And I'm telling you, living here and the policies here are very different. Very different from New York. They do matter. I'm not sitting up here and bullshitting you when I tell you that you have to look in the mirror, make decisions. Okay, and a lot of this is up to you. You have to be your own hero. You have to get involved. You have to go to the city council meetings. You might have to run for office. Or get on a team with others behind somebody who is willing to run for office and try to take our country back. Because otherwise it ends horribly. It ends horribly. You know, Chris Sky, one of the very few Canadians up there. In fact, again, I talked about Nathaniel Pavlovsky, and that young man just totally and completely impresses me. Chris, I'm not sure how old he is. He's got to be younger than me because I'm an old man. But Chris Guy's another one out in Canada that early on recognized what was happening, stood up against it, and continues to stand up. And Sky 100% doesn't believe that Trumpsky and Hutch goes to prison. It's never even crossed his mind, by the way, until we talked. Like he was just so dead on that was not going to happen. And I said to him that was close to the wrap up, guys. And it's it's like a 10 or 12 minute interview. That's why I've been integrating 3 interviews together. So you got instead of 2 interviews, guys, you got 6 for the premium. You got 6. I'm just saying. 6 commercial free. 6. We did it live. I edited it later. But I said, humor me, Chris, because he's like, nah. Like a lot of people feel that way, and I think they're really naive. Okay, same thing. I guess Joe Hoff didn't quite feel like exactly like Chris Sky did, but I feel like a lot of naivety there. And I just said, just humor me. And let's say they put the guy in prison. I can't reiterate enough. I don't feel like he's done anything to warrant that, but they do it. And Chris just kind of takes a step back. He goes, I hadn't considered that at all up until this moment. But considering it, he's like, I think that there actually might be a civil war in this country. And I don't want that. And he said he doesn't want that. And I'm not sure that's exactly what happens. But I can tell you this. Good things don't happen. Good things don't happen. So we're going to go to break. We got one more segment in the first hour. That's just one more segment. Then you got to go to rvmrumble.com for that second hour. And we will be back after this word from our sponsor.
When I invented MyPillow, my passion was to help each and every one of you. And 20 years later, all of your support is what keeps us going. Because of you, we've been able to create thousands of USA jobs and help millions get the best sleep ever. To thank you, my employees and I are bringing you a limited edition MyPillow. The Giza Elegance MyPillow is made with my patented adjustable fill, the most amazing cotton, and a 2-inch pipe gusset. It has 4 custom loft levels, machine washable and dryable, and you get my 60-day money-back guarantee and 10-year warranty.
Go to mypillow.com or call the number on your screen. Use your promo code to get your limited edition 20th anniversary MyPillow queen size. Retails for $69.98, now only $19.98. That's right, get a queen size MyPillow for only $19.98.
From all of us here at MyPillow, thanks America!
Well, thank you, Mike. I didn't see Lindell this time around. I'm sure he was there. I didn't see a lot of people. I wanted to run into Alex Stein, and I must have just missed him. We were in cross tents. I would have really liked to see him. There were quite a few people I did get to quickly shake a hand with. But again, I'm there to work. I'm there to talk to people. I'm there to open minds. I'm there to make connections. It's not, I could care less about some kind of like acknowledgement or whatever. And I understand Jones's frustration. I think he would understand that I understand that frustration because that's never what I've been into. I'm pissed, man. I'm pissed. The 9/11 thing, forget about it. That did it. That was enough. And we should do that. That's why I should probably play this clip of Bannon and Giuliani talking now in the first hour. Because to me, Giuliani is as much to blame as anybody. Period. Like he's obviously a compromised guy and has been strong-armed in many respects. But 9/11 is inexcusable. That's where you really had to put the chips down and put it on the line, and a lot of people failed. And Giuliani not only failed on that, but then grandstanded after the fact, right? No bueno.
I think you're the only guy that sat down with him personally. I think that's one of the reasons you went to Ukraine was actually meet this guy and make sure he's still breathing. Rudy, take it away.
I first revealed everything he said last night in February of 2019 on Hannity's show.
So he's talking about Biden, Ukraine, Hunter, the whole nine.
And then with John Solomon. And that was an audio recording that was done from U.S. to Ukraine. And then in December of 2019 with Chanel Rion, I went to Ukraine and spent a couple of days with him and did a video recording. That's my number 3 podcast. And at that time, he had already they had attempted to kill him once. Myself and several people working with me got him to the same doctor that we could trust that had dealt with the former president of the Ukraine who had been poisoned probably by Putin. And we helped to save his life. He's since been poisoned another time after that. And what he's saying is very simple. I mean, he was right there at the times that Biden would call Poroshenko, the president of Ukraine, and pressure him to fire Shokin. And this idea that Shokin was corrupt and not going after Burisma is disproven by the public record. In February of 2016, Shokin raided Burisma, closed him down, and put him out of business.
And look, again, this doesn't mean I love Giuliani, but he's telling the truth here. You know, known liars and grifters also tell the truth. This is real.
So Shevsky, the president of Burisma, went crazy. There are four conversations that the White House will not release between the president of Ukraine and the vice president in that 2-week period following the shutdown. And at the end of that 2-week period, Shokin is fired. And Shokin will tell you the whole story. I mean, he was fired because he wouldn't back off Burisma. He offered to resign. He would have kept his mouth shut until Biden started accusing him of corruption, which wasn't true. There's no evidence anywhere in Ukrainian files of corruption. That rumor was spread mostly, believe it or not, by Soros's NGOs in Europe. They're just lying. And the State Department has all kinds of reports about what a good job Shokin was doing, which then changed to he was corrupt after he was fired. So this has been available for 4 years now. And what he revealed the other day to Brian is just a repeat of what he revealed to Hannity 4 years ago.
There you go. And that's the thing. How long is this stuff in the public arena? It's just like the Wiener laptop I was talking about earlier. The wheels of injustice move ultra slow, but yet they're going to fast track the Donnie T trials. We got to fast track the Donnie T trials, put Donnie T in prison before he can run for president so we can try to take him off the ballot. And, you know, it's funny. Trump, in a lot of ways, like at least in my world, because I'm not a Trump guy, his voice has been vastly marginalized to where it's, I would say, super amplified with those that follow him. What do I mean? So, freedom of speech, not freedom of reach on Twitter is obvious to me. Before I came on the show, what I was looking for were clips of the Donnie T. Tucker interview. I would have thought that there would have been clips everywhere. It's almost an hour-long interview. There were a ton of clips, obviously, of the debate that were out there. Although, again, not as many as I would have thought. It was hard for me to find the extended clips that I would have liked to see. I mean, it feels like some of that's being curated. But I couldn't I found one. I found one clip. And, you know, talking about Biden being a Manchurian candidate. I would have thought I would have found more. Now, Trump needs to get back on Twitter, but even then, I assume they will just like algorithmically decimate his reach. Again, you gotta... Elon Musk ain't your friend. But make no mistake about that. So you have that aspect of it. And then he tries to amplify himself on Truth Social. I'm not on Truth Social. I have no idea what that guy's talking about most of the time. At all. Like, he has to do a full sit down with the Tuckins, and I have to watch that sit down for me to get a beat on it. Whereas it used to be, you know, 4, 5, 6 posts a day on Twitter, videos, people amplifying it all over the place. Not anymore. Those days are done. So I want to play this clip of Trump. Where are you? Do I have it? There it is. Talking about Biden being a Manchurian candidate. I agree with everything the guy says right here.
By the way, at Penn, he gets millions of dollars. China pays this guy millions of dollars. See, I think he's the most corrupt president we've ever had. And he also has the distinction of being the most incompetent. And I believe both. I mean, he's both incompetent and corrupt.
So let me say this. As a president, he's not running anything. As far as corruption goes, yes, heavily corrupt, a big-time social club climber, the most corrupt in history. I don't know. I think that might be a reach because there's been some really bad corruption in the past. I would point to people such as George H.W. Bush, and then really the George W. Bush administration, extremely corrupt. But yes, no, certainly. I mean, this guy was a wheeler dealer gangster as a senator in Delaware.
I actually believe he's compromised because China knows so much about him. They know where the money comes from. They know where it is, who paid it, and they probably paid it. Well, they do pay Penn. and he gets $1 million. I think he takes $999,000 because keeps it a little bit under $1 million, like by $1. But he, in many ways, is a Manchurian candidate. We have a Manchurian candidate. By the way,
in the office, I agree. Like, you got a total and complete zombified puppet. That's it. Wanted to play this one before we went to the second hour, because this is just quality. Max Blumenthal, you're the man. We need to get him on. This is the gray zone. But here, he exposes the ridiculousness of equity and diversity at Lockheed Martin.
Hello. Max Blumenthal, the gray zone. My pronouns are Trump Russia. Lockheed Martin has been identified as one of the most diverse employers in the country. And I was wondering if you knew by any chance how many products or weapons produced by Lockheed Martin, diversity and equity and inclusion bombs have been dropped on the children of Palestine, Yemen, or Syria. And also, do you happen to know off the top if any non-binary U.S. Navy divers were used in blowing up the Nord Stream pipelines?
Boom! Come on. That's gold wrapped in diamonds right there. That's platinum studded awesome. Good job, man. And that's what we need to be doing more of, by the way. You don't think that makes a difference, but to me, something like that, even though it's not going to go hyper, super, mega viral, like triggering somebody with a weird hat or a nose ring or that identifies as a giraffe wolf, right? That's really important, putting these people on the spot and letting them know that, no, you're not safe at your little TrueCon. People are hip to the fact that, you dress this up any way you like it. You're involved in death. You're involved in control. You're involved in oppression. That's the reality, okay? That's what matters. So, bravo to Max Blumenthal. Really love what he's doing, for sure. Killing it, really. Absolutely killing it. So, I have this video that we're going to do in the second hour. I couldn't rip it, of course. Why would I be able to rip it? Why would things work? Why would things work? This is Ray McGovern, and I want to encourage people to please go check out Loose Change, Final Cut, and Fabled Enemies, especially on the run-up to the anniversary of 9/11. We're less than 2 weeks away now. Believe it's going to be on Monday. Yeah, so now we're, I believe, 13 days out. And it is that catalyzing and catastrophic event, like a new Pearl Harbor, that the neocons somehow identified in their Project for a New American Century document. And McGovern has been at the forefront of exposing corruption on all sides and really coming in as an analyst insider from the agency. You want to talk about white hats? Did you watch my interview with Drew Berquist, folks? Who Berquisted with me? That's an example of a white hat. Ray McGovern is an example of a white hat. Somebody who's fed up. And I want to say it was at a Rumsfeld event many, many years ago that they drug him right out of there. Manhandled him for asking a real question. A guy who was on the inside asking a real question. The manhandled him. Get out of here, Ray. We don't like you. So we're going to come back on the other side of this commercial really quick. Tell you where to check out the second hour, rvmrumble.com. rvmrumble.com. And we'll do it after a word from our sponsor.
Attention Americans, breaking news. Biden's dangerous plan for a digital dollar is underway. Don't be fooled. It won't benefit you. Take action now. The Federal Reserve phased deployment of FedNow began on July 1st, 2023. Be prepared. This may catch many off guard. Your hard-earned assets are in jeopardy. But there's a simple legal tax loophole to opt out of the digital dollar. Reach out to American Alternative Assets for a free wealth protection guide and discover how to safeguard your wealth with gold and silver IRAs against a failing dollar and volatile markets. Visit protectfrombiden.com. This invaluable guide provides precise steps to transfer your IRA or 401k into precious metals without any tax consequences. Be smart. Don't let Biden force you into using the government's new digital dollar. Visit protectfrombiden.com to get your free guide and get started. Again, that's protectfrombiden.com.
All right, we are back. Folks, the first hour is over. You're going to want to go over to redvoicemedia.com, rvmrumble.com, rumble.com, and Red Voice Media's channel, where they run it on an almost 12-hour loop twice. It's a real network. We got other great people like Chad Caton, Wayne Dupree. We got Ray Dietrich, Drew Berquist, and beyond. And also they're tightening up the weekend lineup. I'm very proud to be on this network. I'm very proud that nobody censors anything that I say, that nobody gives me a list of what I should and shouldn't say. Nobody suggests, hey, maybe I took it a little too hard the other day. And look, I respect my audience too. I respect you guys out there for being critical of the things that I say. I just want some evidence provided. Imagine that. So I'm hoping that people, they didn't hit the DMs, but my DMs are open. Hit the DMs with the small quotes, the news articles, the reason you don't like the Ramaswamy. Okay? That being said, YouTube, we're going to take it uncensored style over to the second hour over at rvmrumble.com. Remember, support the broadcast at redvoicemedia.com/uncensored.